Yeah, thank you very much. Like you pointed out, the poultry has been the most successful business in this country, looking at the value chain, the livestock. And this has happened for a number of reasons. Of course, yes, today things are turning down south, and simply because of two things. Number one, the issue of feed, the cost of feed. That again is also being driven by the prices of grains. The second aspect is that issue of vaccinations or drugs, poultry-related vaccinations and drugs. And for vaccinations for drugs, it's across the board. Whether you're talking about African swine fever for pigs, whether you're talking about PPR for small ruminants, or whether you're talking for other diseases that are uniquely bovine-related in terms of cattle. For the poultry, we've had an engagement with the Poultry Association of Nigeria. And I've also visited a few farms that are major players in the country. And we have collected all the challenges, and this will soon be addressed. That is the issue of feed and medicaments. Now, however, in the last 2-3 years, because of these dynamics, many farms have closed down. Now, rather than closing down, somebody can scale down. That is one strategy. I have been a layer producer myself. I used to do layers. I had to scale down. But because my farm is integrated, I stopped the layer business for one reason, not related to what I have mentioned. But I'm now moving over to free range. That's another portfolio one can open. But again, the intention here is, like I said, we have collected all those challenges and we'll soon start addressing them in terms of feed availability, etc., etc. In fact, the Feed Millers Association of Nigeria also came to office and we discussed. And today, we have set up a small committee to look at those challenges and come out with mitigants on how to address them. But beyond that, what other aspect we are looking at today is that rather than have a large-scale or medium-scale poultry farm, we want to encourage, we want to come up with initiatives for youth and particularly household wives, women. And not necessarily women as such. Anybody who wants to go into poultry, we want to popularize that one. Number one, you can do layers, you can do broilers, you can do the locally developed noila, you can do also locally bred Shika Brown. These are what we want to popularize. Now, both noila and Shika Brown are dual purpose, both for meat and for egg. And research is also ongoing today to improve on those two issues, both meat and egg. Both of them are hardy. They are meant for the rural areas. They can jump all around, eat from kitchen leftovers, kitchen residue. And then once you popularize that one, you are saying here that, look, the egg that these birds are going to lay, two things can happen. You can aggregate them, you have a large flock, and sell, because your cost of production is very low. Or you can also eat them in the family. So that's how we are going to approach it, so that at least that bird-based protein is readily available for the household. This is how we are going to look at it. But by and large, the challenges you have mentioned, or rather the issues that I've raised, they run across. What number of cattle do we have in the country? More than 22 million. But of course, that is a number that we are saying. The last national livestock was done in 1991. So we are just projecting, extrapolating to get the number. For goats, we have almost 80 million. For sheep, we have almost 50 million. For the poultry, we're talking about a little bit more than half a billion. For pigs, we have 9.3 million. So, but these numbers, looking at our population, our propensity for consumption, 250 million Nigerians. 60% of that population is made of the youth. These numbers are not sufficient, particularly if you begin to do industrial processing of red meat. They are not going to be sufficient. So it is part of the mandate of this ministry to double that number in the next 3-4 years.
Fly better.